This is breaking news from Local 3 News.
All right, we start with breaking news at the top of the hour. A woods fire on Lookout Mountain near the Incline Railway is now 75% contained. Chattanooga Fire Department tells us that EPB currently on the scene now, while fire crews are still stretching additional hoses to take out any remaining hot spots. We first heard reports about 15 minutes ago when our crews arrived on the scene, spotted smoke coming from the area near the incline. Again, that is a live look as they work to put out any remaining hot spots near the incline on Lookout Mountain. And you can see video from our crews again on the scene. Our crew said it did look like a tree fell onto a power line and tilted sort of over the track. That's video depicting that from our photog. The Chattanooga Fire Department says there is no damage to the incline's track. Now, if you remember, the Incline Railway was set to reopen on Monday after being closed for more than half a year. A wildfire in December reached the tracks and heavily damaged the cable system at the time. Again, they are set to reopen on Monday. The fire department telling us nothing has damaged the tracks this time, but they are still working to put out some hot spots. We'll touch base with a live reporter, Catherine Vaughn, a little later in this hour on the scene with our photog currently right now. It is 12:01, and again, you're watching Local 3 News at noon. I'm Paul Shaheen in for Latrice Curry. We've got meteorologist Clay Smith standing by with a look at this afternoon. Clay, how are you doing over there?
I'm doing better, Paul. I had my coffee and I'm ready to make it.
You needed some.
I did this morning. You know, it was a wild show, but hey, we are coasting right into the weekend, and it is going to be a good rest of the day. Now, it's hot and humid out there, but of course it is July, and we're starting to see a few of those bubble up showers and storms I was talking about earlier this morning. Coverage isn't high, but some of you are already dealing with some rain, and I noticed some darker clouds to our north here in North Chattanooga. So just south of Dayton, moving in that southern part of Ray County, a pretty heavy storm. Soddy Daisy had a little bit of a downpour earlier, and also in and around Pikeville, really that northern edge of Bledsoe County. There's a pretty good cell moving through, and this is all generally moving to the east. So Spring City, I'd say you guys are probably going to get a pretty good downpour if this holds together within the next 30, 45 minutes. So again, that's going to be the trend throughout the afternoon. We have a lot of heat, a lot of moisture kind of pent up in the air, so it's not going to take much for these storms to continue to fire up. Here's a look at our Creative Discovery Museum cam. If this was tilted up a little more, you could see the sky, and there's some darker clouds in the background, but here directly in downtown Chattanooga, things are looking pretty good. Got a lot of kids out there enjoying themselves on this hot summer day. As we take a look at your current temperatures, already in the mid to upper 80s, on our way to the low 90s, and that's going to be the trend heading into the weekend as well. Talk more about that coming up here in just a few moments, Paul.
All right, Clay, touch base in a few. Thank you. New at noon, 14 people from Tennessee have been charged after a recent drug operation between local, state, and federal agencies. Over $60,000 has been seized alongside 22 pounds of meth, with nearly 14,000 fentanyl pills and 56 guns. This case has international connections to drug cartel members in Mexico. That is according to the 10th Judicial District Drug Task Force. The investigation began in early 2024 and just recently came to a conclusion. The 14 individuals face various charges related to drug and firearm. One suspect in Atlanta and one from Mexico have yet to be arrested. Dade County schools have identified this high school student who was struck and killed while walking along railroad tracks Monday morning. 16-year-old Manuel Tucker Campbell was a rising sophomore at Dade County High School, where he played football and ran track. His obituary says that he loved Star Wars, playing Fortnite, and had a great sense of humor. Tucker's family says he will be missed by all who knew him. His funeral is scheduled for today at 1 in Trenton, Georgia. Teachers in Grundy County are demanding transparency after their school board voted to reject a $2,000 teacher bonus payment, the only district in the school to vote no. The board has been in hot water since that decision, and one teacher says it's time for someone to take a look into the ethics of the board. Madison Sims attended last night's meeting and has the story.
It's been over a month since the Grundy County School Board voted no on giving their teachers a $2,000 bonus. But people in the community aren't letting them forget their decision.
We still have not heard why they gave that bonus. It's obviously a group decision, and it shouldn't have been.
The one-time payment of $2,300 is part of Governor Bill Lee's Education Freedom Act. 5 board members voted no, but have yet to say why, which is causing people to question their role on the board.
We have to be accountable for what we do. And if we don't address those that don't want to be accountable, they may continue to do it that way.
One board member took responsibility for the way things have transpired.
2 things that I hate, and it is lack of accountability and abuse of power. And I am so sorry that we have failed as a board. I absolutely apologize for that.
Since the vote, people in the community filed open records requests for each of the board members. All of them returned the request, but board member Doyle Schrum. We asked him why, and he refused to comment.
We've had some open records come back, and they show the conspiracy of, those people working together.
In response to the issues in transparency, Wright presented the board with an outline for an ethics committee. She says people should be able to trust their school board.
It's not about voting just the way I want. It's about being able to stand there and say, this is why I did it. And right now we're not getting that.
And Chattanooga residents could soon be allowed to keep chickens in their backyards. That is, if the city changes the current law they're debating. Chattanooga's chicken ordinance has sparked debates citywide, and current law requires properties to be zoned for agriculture or larger than 5 acres for chicken ownership. But many residents already keep chickens illegally or have found ways around the law. It's been a hot topic among residents after it was brought up in a city council meeting. Despite concerns, many are in favor of the potential changes.
If you do an outright ban, people are just going to do it anyway. I did. Somebody in my neighborhood, when the HOA didn't want her to have them, she got emotional support chickens.
The proposed law would allow residents with smaller lots, less than 2 acres, to keep up to 8 hens. Supporters say chickens help with food waste and align with the city's eco-friendly goals, but they want proper regulations. The ordinance is planned to be picked up again later this month. Coming up on Local 3 News at noon.
Are you one of those folks who never gets around to cleaning out old emails? It's overwhelming, right? I'm Jamie Tucker. Coming up, Google just introduced a brand new tool to help Gmail users get their inbox under control, and you're gonna love it.
Well, it seems every website, retail store, and coffee shop wants your email address, and soon they overwhelm your inbox. A new Gmail feature is getting a lot of attention from people tired of sifting through junk mail. Our consumer technology reporter Jamie Tucker shows us how it works.
We've all done it. We've signed up for a newsletter or clipped a coupon online, and all of a sudden, our Gmail inbox has a big red number beside it. Hundreds, if not thousands, of unread emails. Well, this new option from Google stops those emails in their tracks. This new feature keeps tabs on everything you're subscribed to. You'll find it in the side panel called Manage Subscriptions. If you click it, you'll see all of them. Every store offer, every newsletter, and every subscription that fills your inbox. So tap one and you'll be surprised at just how many times some of these companies annoy you. Some I don't even remember signing up for, but are sending me emails 4 to 5 times a day. And there's a simple unsubscribe button. Click and you should never see them again. And this couldn't come at a better time. Over 376 billion emails are sent every day, and about 85% of those are marketing, spam, and newsletters. And it isn't just annoying. These emails can include tracking pixels to monitor what you open, what you click, and even what time you check your messages. Right now, you'll only find the option in the Gmail website, but it will be rolling out to the iPhone and Android versions of the apps pretty soon. And I found that if you unsubscribe from just a few of those newsletters and websites, you could cut your inbox clutter in half. Yeah, that's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
All right, we're also continuing to follow that fire on Lookout Mountain near the Incline Railway. We do have a good news update for you officials. This is a live look at it, by the way. Officials now say the fire is 100% contained. Again, there was a tree that fell on a wire. The wire caught fire to the tree, and then EPB shut power off to the wire. The tree then burned, and it is completely contained, 100%. Now they are saying no impact to the railway.
It's time now for our CNBC Money Minute. Bitcoin has hit an all-time high, soaring to its peak value of $118,000. That is up nearly 8% over the last week. CNBC's Savannah Hanau joins us with the latest. Savannah, markets fluctuating, right? Is there a reason why Bitcoin in particular seems to be doing so well? Hey, Allison, good afternoon and happy Friday to you. Well, Bitcoin did reach that all-time high overnight, and that was thanks to institutions buying into Bitcoin ETFs. That's according to crypto investment research firm So Value. Now, Bitcoin ETFs had their best day of inflows of the year at nearly $1.2 billion. Now, investors have been expecting Bitcoin to break records in the second half of the year as corporate treasuries accelerate their buying spree and Congress gets closer to passing crypto regulation. Meanwhile, Tesla has applied to test and operate its robotaxi service in Phoenix, Arizona. The company launched a limited robotaxi service in Austin, Texas in June. Now, Arizona transportation officials confirming to CNBC that a decision is expected by the end of this month. Rival Waymo launched in Phoenix back in 2020. And IMAX is about to have its best year on record. Earlier this year, CEO Rich Gelfand told CNBC the company is forecasting a $1.2 billion year at the global box office. And analysts are expecting 2026 will be even better. Now, IMAX has been gaining market share in recent years, and that's thanks to new Hollywood releases such as Apple's F1. Ellison. Savannah Hanau, thank you. Coverage for a social media influencer's critical surgery shockingly denied by her insurance company. What she's now saying is she opens up to her thousands of followers. You're watching.
The president's disfavor of Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell appears to be at a boiling point. A White House official denies that a letter seeks to lay the groundwork for ousting Powell, but many analysts disagree. In it, the Office of Management and Budget alleges Powell lied to Congress about the Fed headquarters renovations. It's no secret President Donald Trump wants Powell out so he can appoint someone who will cut interest rates sooner, but he probably cannot fire Powell for that reason. Supreme Court rulings forbid that. An analyst says the stock market could tank. The State Department is firing more than 1,300 employees this Friday. That's today. This mass layoff is in line with a dramatic reorganization plan unveiled by the Trump administration earlier this year. The AP reports layoff notices were sent to over 1,000 civil servants and almost 250 foreign service officers. Affected foreign service officers will be on administrative leave for 120 days, after which they will formally lose their jobs. The State Department is the lead federal agency for foreign policy and international relations. It's been 1 week since floodwaters devastated the Texas Hill Country. The death toll continues to rise. The number of missing is now more than 160, but there have been tireless search and rescue efforts to find victims still ongoing today. And today, President Donald Trump is visiting the storm-ravaged area. Lee Waldman is in Kerrville with more.
There was 5 as of yesterday over there and 1 on this side.
What was once a peaceful way of life living along the Guadalupe River has now turned into a mass grave 1 week after catastrophic flooding.
This still blows me away. This really does blow me away.
Ricky Ray Robertson's family's property was significantly damaged in the flood. Helicopters are constantly flying overhead with search crews working across the river. His cabin home was washed away, but Robertson says people searching his property have it much worse.
The man walked to me and he said, "We're looking for our daughter." And he said, "I know we're not going to find her, but we can't just sit in a hotel."
Up the road near a local park, 91-year-old Charles Hansen has started clearing debris every morning, finding solace in the work.
On behalf of the people who can't be here or shouldn't be here right now, I'm here.
A week after disaster struck, the communities along the now calm Guadalupe trying to find a way forward.
But I think the best thing I can do in respect for the people is to help clean up the mess.
They're not numbers. You know, they're little girls and men and mothers and fathers. And what is this? You know, a big square box full of stuff, you know, that I can easily rebuild.
In Kerrville, Texas, I'm Lee Waldman.
It's just heartbreaking. Hey, some Tennesseans are among those assisting in the ongoing search and rescue operations in Central Texas right now. Men and women from the Memphis Fire Department who handle specialized search dogs began a 14-day mission in Texas. The team was called upon as part of an act between the states, Texas and Tennessee, to provide mutual aid when the natural disasters strike. Texas, remember, sent responders to Tennessee and North Carolina last September when Hurricane Helene devastated the region. A North Carolina man and his family are cut off from everyone right now. The recent flooding washed away the only road in and out of their property. A couple of friends are visiting Philip Young from Florida, but that one night stay, well, it turned into a different adventure. They say Wednesday that conditions looked normal at first, but overnight the water started rushing in a way he's never seen before. He could only speak to media over the phone for safety reasons.
You could have a little washout. This never crossed my mind. Something as catastrophic as this is never, ever crossed. This reminds me of the pictures I saw up in the mountains.
And on the path, one lone duck looked pretty confused to see his home dried up and ruined. Meteorologist Clay Smith is with us in the Storm Alert Weather Center right now. Clay, tell us some good news on a Friday. We need it, yeah?
Well, I mean, here's some good visuals, Paul.
We'll take that too.
Yeah, I mean, double rainbow yesterday. Not exactly sure where this is. I'm thinking it's looking down into North Georgia, sent in by Bill Fall. So, Bill, if you're watching this, shoot me a message, see where this is actually from. But great shot there. If you get any like this throughout the day, because we could have more rainbows showing up with these pop-up storms, just send me an email, weather@local3news.com. We'd love to feature you here on our shows. But as we take a look at the radar, again, not a whole lot going on, but notice some of those pop-up showers here and there. So I'm going to zoom into 2 different areas. First, north of Chattanooga. I'm talking up towards Pikeville, Dayton, that southern part of Ray County. We've got these heavy downpours moving through. Not a ton of lightning here, but we do have some really heavy rainfall in and around Pikeville and just off to the east of Dayton. And then as we drop further to the south and east, notice some more pop-up showers popping just to the west of Murphy, north of Turtletown, and in and around Blue Ridge. So that's really going to be the trend. Again, we're not looking at anything severe today, but there certainly could be some gusty winds and some very heavy rain. but not everyone sees rain today. Some of you will be sunny for most of the day. Here's a look at downtown Chattanooga. We got some dark clouds way in the background, but here in downtown, it's hot, it's humid, but there is just a little breeze, which is helping us a little bit. But temperatures already close to 90 in Lafayette, 87 in Chattanooga, 80 in Altamont. We're likely to top out somewhere between, I would say, 89 and 93 degrees here in valley locations. Again, we're looking at highs of around 91 in Chattanooga, 91 in Cleveland, but some areas will be just a little bit warmer than that. But just a typical July heat that we're dealing with today. Futurecast not showing anything other than a few pop-up showers and storms throughout today. That'll continue through the early evening. Again, we're in the peak heating hours from really now until about 4 or 5, and that's when we're going to have our best chance of those pop-up summertime storms. By the time the sun goes down, if you have any plans late this evening, things are looking good. And then going into the overnight, not a lot going on. Could be some clouds building in, maybe some fog by tomorrow morning. And the latest model guidance also showing more showers and storms, maybe even a higher coverage as we get into the mid-morning on Saturday and early afternoon. Should you cancel any of those outdoor plans? No, absolutely not. But make sure you have that Local 3 weather app downloaded, because you may have to pull up the radar a few times tomorrow just to see where the storms are at. Here's a look at your future rainfall. Again, highly variable as it typically is in the summertime. You get under one of those heavy downpours that's not moving all that fast, yeah, you could pick up an inch or two of rain, but there is a good chance over the next 2 days that you may not see anything other than some sunshine with a couple of distant dark clouds. So that's going to be the trend really moving forward over the next 7 days. Just your typical July pattern, pretty close to average. High is going to be in the low to mid 90s. We'll have those storm chances throughout the weekend, and that'll continue right into next week, Paul.